branch.
Pain is life, man. Life is painful. You got to push yourself extremely hard just to be able to take the pain. That's where it separates a lot of people, because they're not willing to go that extra mile and put themselves through that pain and the soreness that it requires to continue to make progress. But those that have it, have that heart, and have that drive, and have the mental toughness, you know, those are the guys that go on to become champions. Being a bodybuilder, and if you're trying to be a world-class bodybuilder, you've got to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, I walked in this place when I was 17 years old. It hasn't changed much in the past 28 years. And I walked in here, and one of my very first competitions, I trained with Ronnie Coleman, Scott Mark Hamlin, who was Ronnie's workout partner, and of course Brian Dobson. And I'm a kid. These guys are killing me. And most people would have been too intimidated to just make that step out by themselves and do something like that. But I knew if I could train with these guys and train around them, that I would learn from them. And eventually I'd get bigger and stronger. My physique would make huge improvements, which it did. And, you know, I would benefit from it. So I was very uncomfortable first time I walked in here. You know, I didn't walk in here and feel at home. You know, you're a young kid, skinny kid, walking in here, and there was probably 15 or 20 bodybuilders walking around and powerlifters. And, you know, these were grown men that were serious, and some of them went on to be world-class athletes, powerlifters and bodybuilders. And but I knew if I put myself in that situation and I gave it all I had, I would improve. And that's anything. You know, if you're at work, you have a job, you know, you're not satisfied with it, you want to move up, and you've got to, in order to move up, you've got to get in a situation to learn something new, you know, and a lot of times that means taking on a new position or learning something that you don't know anything about in order to move up and advance yourself. And so you're going to be uncomfortable. And that's very true in bodybuilding.
Oh yeah. Air light. Come on. Yep.
I think what's different about bodybuilding and most professional sports is to grow and get better, you're going to subject yourself to pain willingly. But it's that mental toughness that you can just overcome that and keep going, because the average person is capable of doing so much more than what they realize if they just have the mental toughness to do it.
Come on now. Yeah. All in one, baby. Yeah, light. Get it. Come on, Branch. 2. Yep. 2. 3. That's just right. Come on. Drive. Yep. Finish.
In order to grow and to keep making progress year after year after year, because the longer you do this, it becomes diminishing returns. The harder you work, the less gains and returns you get on it, but you can still make gains. You just have to push harder and harder. And that's hard to do when you've been doing it, you know, bodybuilding for 15 years, you know, hardcore, and you're still trying to make gains. You got to push yourself extremely hard. And just to be able to take the pain, that's where it separates a lot of people, because they're not willing to go that extra mile and put themselves through that pain and the soreness that it requires to continue to make progress. But for those that have it, have that heart, and have that drive, and have the mental toughness, you know, those are the guys that go on to become champions.
You ain't get ready for nothing. Yep. Work. Yeah. Come on.
So sometimes notice as a kid, when you see successful athletes, successful people, and look at who they hang out with and who their friends are, they don't hang out with bums, right? They hang out with other people. You know, successful athletes hang out with other successful athletes, champions. You know, successful business people, professionals, they hang out with other people that are successful. Generally, when you see a bum, all his friends are just like him. So I realized that early on, and one of the most successful men I've ever known in my life, he pulled me aside at a very young age, and he told me, he said, if you want to be a successful bodybuilder, be a world champion, you need to surround yourself with successful people in that field. Same thing in business. He goes, you want to be a successful businessman, you need to surround yourself with people that have been successful in business and in that field that you're trying to be successful in. And he was 100% correct. Now, that's easier said than done, especially when you've got some people in your life that aren't really successful and aren't good influences. Well, it's one thing to say, all right, now you need to get these people out of your life and make changes and surround yourself with better people. And then the other thing is actually doing it.
These days, we don't need. Yep. Get it. Hell yeah. Show him. Show him. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I respected this person so much, and I took to heart what he said, and I immediately did that. That's a hard thing to do, you know, to change, to get the people out of your life that you've been hanging around with, and because they're not going anywhere, and they're going to drag you down with them. So, but I did that early on, very early on, and I surrounded myself with good people, successful people, most of which are still in my life today, you know, 25 years later, and within a year, my whole life turned around.
Go. Yes, sir. Come on. Come on. You know what time it is. Come on. Come on.
You know, to this day, people that are not successful individuals, don't have drive, not trying to accomplish and better themselves, I have no room for them. You know, if you want to hang out, be a bum, and play video games and lay on the couch all day, man, that's cool, man, but that's not me, and that's not where I'm going with my life, and I don't want that crap rubbing off on me. Another thing I've noticed is success breeds success. You know, when you're around successful individuals, it's contagious. You know, you see that and you want to be successful. And the same thing goes opposite. You know, you're around lazy people that aren't going anywhere in life, well, that's contagious too. So I think in life you just have to, number one, you got to know what you want to do, and then you got to go after it. And that's the hard part. Everybody has a dream, what they want to do. Very, very few people actually chase their dream. And of those people that chase it, even fewer actually get to live it. But it is possible. And I know I'm living proof. My dream as a kid was to do what I did, and I went after it and made it happen.